Hello everyone, and welcome to another installment of Am I the Asshole? If you like hearing Reddit stories, it would be greatly appreciated if you could like or subscribe to the channel. Now let's get started with our first story. Am I the asshole for refusing to help my family clean up after Sunday lunch? I, 19 female, usually go with my parents and my brother to my grandparents' house on Sunday for lunch, along with other members of my family, an aunt, 2 uncles, 2 female cousins, and 2 male cousins. Since I was little, things have always been the same. My grandfather cooks because my grandmother is in a wheelchair and cannot help him. We arrive and eat, and then the women clean up. I always hated this because the moment we are done eating, my aunt stands up and says, "Girls, come and help us." So while we take away the dishes and wash them, the men just sit there and talk. They don't even make the effort of putting their fork and knife inside the plate. When they are done eating, they just sit and wait for us to take it away, like we are their servers. I help every time without saying anything because I don't want to cause a scene, even if it makes me really angry. Last week, I wrote a message in the family group chat saying that on Sunday, the men were going to help to clean up because they never do. And my female cousins and my kin backed me up. But on Sunday, when we were done eating, just the women got up as usual, and my aunt called only for the girls to help. I felt so angry that I just went to sit on the couch and declared that I was not going to move a finger until the men did. Obviously, nobody did anything, and I was furious. That evening, I got a call from my cousin, 29 female, saying that I was rude for refusing to help and leave them to do all the work. So I said that she never told this to her dad or any of my male cousins, and hung up the call. Now I'm thinking that I might have gotten too angry and overreacted. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Of course, the cleaning up needs to happen, and it's not fair for your grandfather, who cooked the meal, to be left with an unclean kitchen. But it's not women's work, and it bugs me to no end when women perpetuate sexist BS like this. Talk to your grandfather and grandmother. Explain to them, see what they say. They need to set the tone here. If you persist in eating their food without clearing up, you will be TA, so prepare to not come to family meals or volunteer other help around the house while you're there. But you're absolutely not the asshole for wanting a non-gendered division of labor. I actually think the agent of change here is the male cousins. Can they be shamed into realizing what they're contributing to? Ideally, they would stand up and say, "Nope, the guys have it this time. Please sit down, ladies." But just participating equally in cleanup would be a huge improvement. I would talk to them individually and lay out how regressive and ridiculous this is. You can tell them that someday they'll want to bring, assuming heterosexuality for a moment, girlfriends to family dinners. And those girlfriends are going to be horrified and run if they observe the current situation. Not the asshole. This outdated view on things and should be changed within all families. The only people who should be exempt from cleaning are your grandparents. One cooked and the other can't. Everyone should work together to do it all. It'll also be done a lot faster too, that way. Not the asshole. The only people that shouldn't have to clean up are your grandparents and anyone else who helped prepare the meal. Otherwise, you're all capable of pitching in to clean up after yourselves. Gender shouldn't be a factor. Your family needs to ditch the outdated gender roles. At my family get-togethers, everyone is responsible to clean up their own place setting, so plates, glasses, silverware, etc., and then we all pitch in for the rest of it. Men and women, nobody complains. It gets done quicker and leaves more time to just enjoy each other's company. Not the asshole. Unless the men all have 2 broken arms, there is no reason, other than an outdated sexist view that cleaning up is women's work, that they can't help out. Am I the asshole for telling my sister and boyfriend the inappropriate thing my brother-in-law said to me? I, 25 female, live with my sister, Emily, 27 female, her husband Connor, 25 male, and their son Owen, 1 male, due to a variety of reasons, none of which are relevant to this story. The other night, 11/13/24, my boyfriend Marcus, 26 male, came over to hang out and some athletic snuggling ensued. After Marcus had left, I heard the baby crying, and ended up in the hallway with Emily and Connor after Owen was put back to sleep. Emily had asked if Marcus was still in my room, and I told her no, he had left. Connor then says, "Thank God I could hear you downstairs with my noise-canceling headphones on." I was reasonably embarrassed that he had heard anything, and even more so mortified that he had said that in front of my sister. I apologized and hoped that was the end of it. As Emily goes back downstairs, Connor turns to me and says, "Don't be sorry. Now I have something to think about the next time I masturbate." I tried to brush it off, as Connor often makes inappropriate remarks, and I have always just ignored him in the past. I jokingly said, "Don't you mean you'll be thinking about Marcus?" And he responded, "No, Marcus is too quiet. I didn't hear him. I only heard you." Connor then goes back downstairs and I retreat to my bedroom. I couldn't stop thinking about what he'd said and how uncomfortable it made me, so I texted Marcus to ask him if I was overreacting. Marcus was absolutely furious. He wanted me to tell Emily, but I was hesitant, as I didn't want to make Emily and Connor fight. I told him I would talk to her in the morning, hoping it would blow over and Marcus would forget about it. But he texted Emily. Emily then came into my room, and I started crying, saying that Connor's comment had bothered me. But I didn't want to make it a big deal. Emily said that she would talk to Connor about it in the morning and make him apologize. I told her it didn't matter and it wasn't a big deal, but she insisted that he needed to apologize for it, especially since he has made inappropriate comments before and knows they make me uncomfortable. The next day, 11/14/24, I could tell something was tense between Emily and Connor, but I came home late, so I didn't interact with them much. Right before I went to bed, Emily asked me if Connor had apologized, and I told her I hadn't even talked to him. So no. Today, 11/15/24, I heard Connor and Emily arguing downstairs, but I couldn't make out what they were saying. Eventually, Connor storms upstairs and I hear him say, "No, I'm not going to. It's not my fault that none of you can take a fucking joke." I know they were talking about Wednesday night. I knew Emily would be upset, but I didn't know Marcus would be so angry, and I didn't know it would cause this giant fight between Emily and Connor. Am I the asshole for saying anything at all? Edit, I hear them having sex regularly. It seems like people think the issue is that we were heard, but the issue is what he said about it. They made a baby in this house, Marcus, and I hear them all the time when we're just hanging out here. Also, it's our house that me and my sister, own together along with our parents. I'm not staying at their house. It's just as much my house as it is theirs. He's mad you didn't flirt back. He's mad he got caught. Not the asshole, but your sister deserves a husband that doesn't want to F her sister. Time to move out? Currently in the process of house hunting. I wanted to move out as soon as he moved in, but money is always the issue. Not the asshole. His repulsive, and that comment was heinous. On another note, why are you loud effing in her sister's house? Like, what the fuck, with their kid also living there? Is that like a kink or something? Not the asshole. The comment Connor made was no joke. It is creepy and predatory. You are owed not only an apology, but a guarantee that he will get professional help for whatever issues made him think that behavior was even remotely acceptable. Your boyfriend is right to be furious and very concerned over this. Well, that's another episode of Am I the Asshole in the books. I really appreciate all of you who made it this far into the video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel out a lot if you gave the video a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.